One thing I've realized about becoming a parent super early is, when you have big dreams and you become a parent early, you got to think about all like the sacrifices that you have to make. Like for me, if I want to do the things that I've always dreamed of doing, which is creating content, it's hard to do that from your hometown unless you got a super dope hometown. But like, you almost have to travel and spend time away from your family creating content, doing whatever you have to do to follow those dreams. And then like another thing I was thinking for mothers, I talked a lot about like spending time to yourself and your own thoughts in the past couple of like coffee talks I've done. And for mothers, dude, I was thinking like they don't get time to themselves. So when you have a kid super early, like you don't really get time to find yourself. And that's, I feel like it happens to a lot of moms like and dads. Especially when a family stays together and both of them are doing equal parts raising the children or child, whatever the case may be. You just don't get much time to yourself and your thoughts to think and find your purpose. And I've talked a lot about that recently, finding your purpose, spending time to yourself. But how do you get that when you're working, when you're stuck in a cycle where you're working and then coming home with the kids? You know what I mean? It's hard to find your purpose. And then it's like, dude, like a lot of time, like recently, like I've been thinking, like I usually don't do this, but I've just been thinking a lot, like, man, what if it doesn't work out like I think it will, which I know it will. Don't get me wrong. I'm sick as shit today. It's taking everything in me to get a video out. But what I'm saying is, like, dude, like, I would have to just the sacrifices you have to make. You almost have to pick, like, and then if you do all this stuff, like, say I go somewhere, say I, leave and I went to LA again or something, which, I'm not saying I'm doing that. I'm just saying, say I did that, then, I spend however long it takes trying to level up out there, and that's time away from my children. And if it doesn't work while I'm out there, if it doesn't work, then I come back and what I look like. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, there's so much you have to weigh it's like a lot of these guys I look up to content wise, I just noticed almost all of them didn't have kids. It's hard. Once you have kids early, or once you have kids and you haven't made it to where you want to be, like, it's hard to break through that. It's hard to, then you have to sacrifice even more. Then you're in a bigger hole. Because the longer it takes to find yourself, I would say a lot of times the harder it is. But if you keep like as little responsibility as possible, or you eliminate responsibility so that way it opens up more freedom for you and more opportunity, then that's one thing. But dude, I don't know. I was just thinking about like how difficult it can be for parents when you have kids early, especially when you have big dreams and you want to do all these things. Like, I guess if you don't have big dreams, you don't have a lot of these issues, because then you can just work and come home and raise the kids and you're happy. And like I said a million times, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But, I don't know. The things I want to do, it's going to take so much sacrifice, and it already has. I mean, it's sacrificed. So like the shitstorm that this dream that I have has caused in my life, like, it's unreal. I don't have a choice at this point but to make it work. People who have been following me from the jump have seen all that I've sacrificed, and I know it might look like I'm nuts, but I don't know. You have to be delusional. You have to be. It just is what it is. But I do, like, I just was thinking today, like, how much I feel for mothers, so especially single moms that have kids young and they're doing that shit on their own. Like, how much they don't have time to themselves, to find their purpose and, do all these things. And you know, I get caught in my perspective as a dad, but dude, we got it easy. And especially, you know, I'm split up with my baby mother now. And, you know, it sucks. It really sucked at the beginning, the time I spent away from my kids. But also, I mean, it could be a blessing because it gives me more time to chase my dream. And when that dream becomes reality, that will open up so much more time for me to be able to spend with them. Which I've said this before, but that's facts. So it just is, I don't know, all that's just crazy how God works. It feels like he's, you know, I've prayed for this stuff for so long, and it feels like he's just aligning me to be able to make these plays. But bottom line, I just, you know, when you have kids at an early age, there's a lot of things you have to think about. And especially, like I said, when you have big dreams, you have a lot of sacrifices are going to be made. Even when you don't have children, a lot of sacrifices are be made, but especially when you have kids. So, you know, but you still, you know, if you have those dreams, you have to make those sacrifices, and it sucks. A lot of times, you know, in some cases it can cost you your relationship, which is very sad. But if you find someone, this is rare though, but if you find someone who really believes in it and will make those sacrifices with you, that's amazing. If you find someone like that in your life, stick with them. Anyone that believes in you that much, that they would accept you to make those sacrifices. But it's like, you know, if for my example, if you have a dream of making content and you go away for 3 months, 3 to 6 months, which sounds crazy, but people do that in boot camp. People do, you know, they do all this type of shit for other things. Why not take the risk for your dream that can give you a life of abundance and freedom and like just a whole new life of and help for generational wealth. You can get generational wealth from it, you know? So I just think it's, I don't know. But then, you know, on the other hand, if it doesn't work, I don't see it happen. I don't see too many people make that big of a sacrifice and really go all in and it doesn't work. So, but, you know, if it doesn't, that's when shit really sucked. Because then, look, you spent all that time away and it didn't work. And now you just look like a doofus. So it's like, I don't know. It's so tough, man. But I just feel for anybody that had kids super early, have big dreams, don't want to spend that time away, or whatever the case may be. You know, sometimes you don't have to spend your time away, but like, it's still, it's hard, man, when you work and you're trying to raise a family. That's about all the time you got. It's tough. I just feel so much for people that are in that situation, that have those big dreams and want to do those things, but they almost can't because that's the only time they got. But I just want to say I understand anybody who does make those sacrifices and going through a lot of shit because they've made those sacrifices. My hat's off to you, and I hope that you make it to where you want to go in life, because it sucks. It's not like, you know, you want to do that. It's not like you want to make those sacrifices, but just it's the cards you're dealt. So, but I don't know. I love you guys. Sick as fuck today, so I didn't vlog, but wanted to get on here and say that it was on my mind. And also, yeah, all you mothers, hats off to you, because you guys are amazing. You guys are God sent. Any like great, you know, great moms are the biggest blessing on this planet, is basically what I'm saying. And my hat's off to all the mothers out there, because, you know, that's all the time they got. That's all, they only have time to raise their children. So, you know, sucks, but they're their biggest blessing ever. I don't know, I'm rambling now, but I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.